Hey everyone, welcome back. And today I want to talk about really this issue with the EOS mainnet. So yesterday it was reported that the US blockchain has halted, and it was reported that there's some kind of software bug, but there was also news that it was kind of some DDoS attack on the EOS. But in the meantime, all the block producers had to stop the operations, and this is really a serious concern because this blockchain was just launched about a couple of days back, right? And it's not even been 48 hours, and that's been one of the criticisms. So all the EOS holders out there, people who have been investing into EOS and holding, and to be honest, there is a lot of expectations from EOS. And to see this kind of bug at such an early stage is actually a serious concern. And so there have been a lot of tweets around today, especially from Toneways. Toneways today had a tweet saying that why is everyone so much surprised that EOS, is centralized and EOS is got a bug. According to him, EOS is already centralized. And here also in this news, if you see, it says that there was a conference call to identify and discuss the issue at about 10:57 UTC yesterday. And so if you could actually do a conference call with the kind of people who are involved, that means it is centralized. Today with Bitcoin, you can't actually imagine as to who exactly is mining Bitcoin, right? It could be someone in a corner mining Bitcoin, but nobody would ever know. But when it comes to EOS, people who are the block producers who are actually taking care of the network are visible to everyone, and they can be reached anytime. And so if they can be reached anytime, they can also be asked to shut down that block production, right? So that does make it kind of a centralized. So that's a good point that Toneways actually brought up today. But in the meanwhile, the report has been sent out to the Block One, the company like Dan Larimer, who actually created this network, and they said that they will be providing a fix in some time. So here it says the root cause was due to the deferred transaction was handled. Fix is being released shortly by Block One. So Block One provide with the solution, but maybe they will provide a solution and the blockchain will start running once again for the EOS. But again, this has raised a serious concern as to how decentralized the EOS network is. I think this is a topic which is highly misunderstood and also very confusing into the cryptocurrency space. It's very difficult to say what is centralized and what is not decentralized. According to me, the only cryptocurrency that I see on the coin market is only Bitcoin, which is truly decentralized, around the globe. But today, this morning, so Toneways actually tweeted something about this, and he also tweeted something about Ethereum. Now, we also have to understand that Toneways, so just for you, if you don't know Toneways, Toneways is a Bitcoin maximalist, and he's been involved in the space for quite some time. He's appeared on various news channels. And yes, he is someone who a lot of people do follow, and he had a tweet this morning, and according to him, if you read this tweet, it says not a good thing when scams like BitConnect and Tezos die a quick death. BitConnect, of course, the scams they did is obvious to observers and victims alike. When scams like Ethereum, can you see he is calling Ethereum a scam? And according to him, when SEC actually proved that Ethereum is not a security token, he didn't seem to be a very happy man. He said that Ethereum is also a security token. So he's, by the way, calling Ethereum a security token, and he was also calling Ethereum a scam. He's comparing Ethereum with BitConnect and Tezos and all the others, right? So, and he is the one who called up EOS is also scam and centralized. So clearly somebody who really doesn't believe in any other cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin. Maybe to a certain extent he is true, because imagine a world when there was no other cryptocurrencies, it was just Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was, if you've seen my last video, I was talking about the same thing, that Bitcoin can be traded not just with the US dollar and INR, but it can be traded with so many other cryptocurrencies which might not have any value, and that makes the whole space very dangerous to be in. So maybe he has a point. Would definitely want to know from you, what do you think about his tweet, and do you think EOS is also centralized? but this has definitely raised a concern for all the investors and holders out there. This is something that nobody was really expecting. The next one is I want to talk about is the BIS, which is also called Bank of International Settlement. This is what happens when you get into the cryptocurrency space. You learn a lot of things that you otherwise would not have known. Like, for example, how really the central banking system works, how really the fiat money works, how the monies are printed, right? So I did not know about this. So there is this the Bank of International Settlement. So this is a central body for all the central banks. So central banks have a central bank. Here you see the fosters International Monetary Financial Cooperation serves as a bank for the central banks, as you can see. So he also mentioned, so the general manager Augustine, he mentioned something really important. He mentioned that the private cryptocurrencies struggle to earn public trust. So he mentioned something that the cryptocurrencies are risky. And one of the reasons they are risky is because most of them are issued by a private organization, a group of individual and an individual and a group of people. So he mentioned that many cryptocurrencies are ultimately get-rich-quick schemes that should not be conflated with the convert currencies and established payment system that have stood the test of time. So he is comparing those cryptocurrencies, the private issue cryptocurrencies, with the fiat currency, of course. And this is something that I also mentioned earlier, that I would rather trust a fiat currency over a centralized cryptocurrencies, because at least you can trust government to a certain extent instead of trusting a group of people whom you don't know about, right? He also mentioned the short experience of cryptocurrency shows that technology, however sophisticated, is a poor substitute for hard-earned trust in sound institution. And so he says that most of the cryptocurrencies today that exist are nothing but the get-rich-quick scheme. But again, this is coming out from a central bank. But I think this statement makes a lot of sense if the cryptocurrency is not truly decentralized. If it is dependent on a handful of people who actually drive the market, then it's extremely dangerous to be buying that, right? He also said that even in this digital age, trust is in the issuing institution matters will continue to underpin the currency. Central banks, for their part, will have to continue earning that public trust by closely guarding their currency's value. So the one lesson that I want to really take away from this article here is saying that a lot of cryptocurrencies out there which are issued by a central authority or which are governed by a central authority are highly risky to be holding. The next one is, of course, this is something that I've already covered, and this is very much similar to the price manipulation that happened with the Tether, right? The next one I want to share is the Twitter. Twitter actually blocked Bitmain's Twitter handle. This is called censorship, and they have also blocked one more account earlier called Bitcoin Twitter handle as well, right? This is not the first time happening, and this is why we need the decentralization, right? So of course Bitmain, by the way, is #1 mining company across the globe, and also they are the #1 manufacturer for Bitcoin equipment. So this is very significant as to why Twitter will block Bitmain's account, right? It has raised a lot of questions. So clearly some kind of censorship happening out there. The last one I want to share is AdBlock Plus. So there is this new extension for your Chrome, which is called as Trusted News, which actually analyze a news of whether it's a true news or it's a false news. I downloaded it myself. It doesn't work properly, but maybe sometime in the future it could be one of the way to really identify if the news is true or fake. And into cryptocurrencies, these kind of news are so normal. So I think this one would definitely be required, at least for the cryptocurrency space. Right, so that's all I have for you right now. I did not cover it in the news, so I thought I'll cover it today. Let me know about what do you think about the EOS recent bug. Do you think it has raised a serious concern, and do you think EOS is actually kind of centralized? Leave your opinion in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.